And there's got to be a better way. Welcome back to the channel. This is On To and Go. I'm JC, and if you haven't figured it out by now, today we're going to install a garage door opener. Yep, you heard that correct. We're going to install a garage door opener on the bike, but it's not going to be the way you might think it is. Now, I'm not the originator of this. I've seen several videos online, people doing this and putting them in inconspicuous places on the bike, like under the seat and somewhere down in the engine compartment. You know, I'm not trying to reach down into the hot areas of the bike to try to find a button, especially if you're gonna be wearing gloves or anything like that. So I think I got a pretty good idea of where I'm gonna put it. Okay, you're gonna need a couple of things. All right, first of all, you're gonna need what's called a momentary switch. All it is a larger version of the button that's inside of your garage door opener. When you push the button, it makes a contact and it immediately releases, just like your garage door opener. All right, it's got two studs on the bottom where you would connect your wires. You're also going to need a garage door opener. Mine happens to be a Chamberlain brand, so I just used one of the extra Chamberlains remotes that I already had. All right, this one looks a little funny because, yep, there's wires there. So what you're going to have to do is locate the button that actually activates your garage door opener, and I'll bring you in closer in just a second. So this is what we have. This is the momentary switch. I got this one off of Amazon. It's just a couple of bucks. I think it's like $6. They have different versions. They have like a LED light around them, but you got to run a 12 volt to it. This doesn't require any other power but the battery that's in your garage door opener already. Like I said, I'm not trying to hide this little button under a seat or anything like that, and so I don't want a light shine in where it's gonna, let people know where it is. I mean, it's gonna be visible, but you'll have to kind of look for it. Again, I'll put a link for this in the description below. All right, you're gonna have to open up your garage door opener, and if this was sitting up on here, there's a little red LED right here. It goes in that little hole. It would sit like that. Once you pop that open, you're going to find this button right here. These circuit boards are pretty much going to be the same in every garage door opener you're going to find. On the back of that button, you're going to have 4 points of contact that are soldered. All right, you're going to find the 2 that activate your garage door opener. How do you do that? Well, you can touch 2 ends. You might need a second pair of hands with this. Touch 2 ends to 2 of the soldering points and then touch your wire together, which will simulate the button being pushed. So I'll flip this upside down so you can see that I'm not touching the button. And I'll touch this and you'll probably hear my garage door open. Touch it again and it stopped. Touch it a third time, and it's going back down. Actually, it went all the way up. Now it's going back down. All right, I'm not going to get too much in depth into this part of the installation because the circuit boards are different, as mine are kitty corner to each other. Other circuit boards, they're on the same row, so they're going to be even soldering points. All right, the other thing you're going to have to do is, obviously, once you get this soldered in there and put back in correctly, get this put back together before, and these wires are long still. This was right before I was deciding on where exactly I was going to mount this thing. Actually hit the button a couple times there. So if you can see here, I ended up drilling out and kind of filing out some areas for these wires to stick out from the actual controller itself. Once this is installed, you're not going to see this. This is the only thing you're going to see. And as you can see, this one is black. It's going to be hidden in plain sight. The other thing about this one, it's got a little rubber O-ring. So this one is, I wouldn't call it waterproof, but water resistant. All right, so let's get the front fairing off and figure out where we're going to put this. Okay, got the fairing off. Just looking for a spot of where I could put this momentary switch. We got a couple of options. So looking at the front of the dash, obviously this is the little cubby for your cell phone. This panel, it's not a panel, it's just a cover. Doesn't open up or anything. But behind here, there's nothing back there. There's some space back there, almost as big as this. There are some wires I have tucked back in there, but we can still make room. Another option is to grab this little corner right here. It'll end up being something like that. So we got here, here, and I was thinking maybe up here, but I have to kind of figure out what is back there. We may be able to squeeze in there. It's kind of hard to see from this angle. It'll be right behind the windshield, right up here. This is before the 2019s. There used to be a vent switch here, so there's space back there. They just got rid of that vent for 2019. So if you kind of move this jumble around, you can see there's probably space back here for your garage door opener. So, options. Where would you put it? Comment down below. Not that it's going to affect this video, because by the time you comment, this is going to be done. Alright, well, let's try to figure this out. Alright, so I decided I'm going to put it in the vent. That would be the front of the bike. This is what you would see from the front through the fairing. But I think I'm going to go right here. There's enough space underneath. Like I said, in previous models there was a switch here that would actually close these vents. Now they're permanently open. So I'm going to put the button here. It's going to be right up close to the windshield, which would be right here. And then you got your instrument cluster here with your tach and speedometer and all that. So it's within reach, not very visible. I mean, I've had this Velcro here for a while now, because I used to have an XM antenna mounted right here. I don't even notice it's there. So again, it's going to be kind of inconspicuous, unless you really look for it. You're not going to really find it. I don't really leave my bike outside the house anyway, where you can activate the garage anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm measuring from this line, which is basically the edge of what's visible. This little tab goes underneath. So between this line and here, it's close enough to 2 inches. And then from front to back, I'm going to measure from the front edge to this line here, which is what's going to be visible. So you're looking at about 2 3/4. So half of that will be, well, 1 3/8. I was almost dead on. So that's my center. I want to make sure that center is actually going to be centered visually, I mean. You know what? We're just going to go for it. So what I have here, I guess I should have mentioned earlier, you're going to have to drill into your bike. I mean, I knew I was going to do it. It's just a matter of, are you going to do it? I've already drilled into my bike, mounting the saddlebag latch lights. There's no video on that. That was before I was doing the YouTube thing. But I ain't scared to drill a little hole. So we're going to start with a little guy. We're going to gradually step up. We're going to get up to this guy. Wish me luck. One down. That's two. I'm not going to bore you with every step we're doing here, so I'm just going to step it up. So as it turns out, the biggest bit I had was only a 1/2 inch, and this took like probably a 5/8. So what I ended up having to do is go ahead and Dremel it out a little bit, just grind it down, open up the hole a little bit, but it's in there, it's snug. So now we just reinstall the vent into the fairing, attach these wires, and we'll see if it works. Hold on. So there it is installed. Got the button there. Wires are fed through there. These are the two wires that go down to the little cubby that's in there, and if you look closely, you can probably see the garage door opener in there. And there's a lot of shadow in there, but garage door opener's in there. So once again, I'm gonna hit the button and you'll hear the garage door opener open. Stops, back down. Perfect. Let's get this all buttoned up and see it in action. It's really inconspicuous, you really can't see it, and if you're out this way, well, with the reflection from the light, yeah, you can see it, but the camera's picking it up really well. I could barely see it from this angle. Let's go out for a ride and see if it works from a distance. Be right back. Well, it opens. That's a good sign. Well, it took a second, but it closes. Then again, my other garage door openers don't necessarily work all the time closing while I'm still in the driveway. We're just gonna go around the block. Really just want to see what range we can get with this. I mean, it shouldn't be any different than any other garage door opener. I got these new brake and clutch levers. Haven't really ridden much since I put these in my work schedule, and it's been really hot, like almost unbearable hot. But them Legends feel good. Coming up up on the corner here. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's hit or miss with that little thing. But it works. So that's pretty much it. Real simple install. It only took maybe about 30 minutes total. And most of that was deciding where I wanted to put it and just making sure it fit in the right spot. And also, you know, the soldering, which I did on a different day, so I didn't actually do that today. But the soldering is going to be a little bit different for everybody depending on, you know, what circuit board you get or what remote control you get. This isn't my idea. I've seen so many videos online, and in fact there's even commercial versions of this where you can actually buy a whole remote system that goes and you attach it to your handlebars or put it somewhere on your bike. But you know, those just cost a little bit of money. This cost me about the price of the momentary switch, which was about $6 for me. I will link it down below. It's an easy find on Amazon. As always, ride safe, and when you get that need, you get that urge, get out onto and go. See you.